Greetings, beautiful humans. It's Roslyn Loxton here, and we are in month 3 of my best self. So the cover page for month 3, your ability to relate, your ability to coexist and co-create with tribe and with community and in a civilization plays a really, really huge role in being your best self. It's important, right, to fit in to some degree. However, it's equally as important to stand out and to be your unique self. Tap back into what are my grandest intentions for my best self journal, and that question is at the beginning of the book. So tap back into that question and how you answered that question. See yourself as the stories that you have been running in the background in your whole subconscious belief system. And you believe these stories. What themes have you consciously or unconsciously committed yourself to? What main themes are underwriting the main story of your life now or so far? So really contemplate that. Your past, present, and your future are all faithful servants to the story you are believing about you. This is good news, right? Because when you change the story, then you change your life. Who planted those stories, in your belief system? Are you ready to tweak them? This month, focus and reflect on your internal stories and decide with conviction to rewrite your stories. What do you have to know or believe in order to be your best self? What do you have to know, or what would you need to believe in order to be your best self? What story needs to be released or removed out of your whole system? What do you need to let go of? What would it take? What would it take for you to believe a different story, to tap into a different story? What would it take? This month, observe and reflect. When I say reflect, I mean also journal on who you feel you are and who you think you're not. This is now your I am, because whatever we say as I am this or I am that, especially when you're not really consciously saying it, that really forms a part of what limits you're going to set yourself up for, what things you're going to be looking for, what evidence you're going to be seeking about, what is possible for you, all comes from what your I am is. Your willpower, your sense of individualism, your self-discipline, your boundaries, and your tenacity and your drive, all of those parts of you are covered in month 3, or it could be March if you did start in January, but you can start any time of year. So let's say the 3rd month of this journal. And a little quote there: when the story inside you changes, then life outside of you also changes. Let's build an optimistic internal bias. So week 1 we touched on was pride, all the different phases and flavors of pride. And this week 2 in month 3, week 2 is this week, observe and reflect on your relationship with anger. Often anger is a secondary emotion, meaning that there is a different emotion causing the anger, such as unaddressed sadness or grief, for example, that sits underneath, right? And the anger is just a crust on top. Note, all of our emotions are legitimate and they require us to process them as opposed to making them wrong or pushing them down or even trying to bypass them, okay? What we really need to get good at is naming our emotions, feeling it, naming it, and then processing it appropriately so it doesn't get stored in us and turn into illness or shitty stories or build up and come out sideways in a toxic way later. Now, once you have answered that question and really reflected on your relationship with anger, then the second part of that question, equally as important, is what will change for me when I finally allow myself to acknowledge what is a no. Okay, what's a no for me? That's a hard no, or that's a no for me. In the true spirit of operating as your self-aware, unique best self. Where is it that you might need to say no to the world, to yourself, to a friendship, from, in a work environment? What are you saying yes to when your true unique spirit really, it's a no? That's a secondary part of that question. Aim to resolve, not to attack. So that is week 2 in month 3 in my Best Self Journal. So if you haven't got a copy of this, just grab it on Amazon.com. Jump on over to the My Best Self Facebook group, because there, if you want to post any questions to me, if you want to flesh anything out, I'd be really happy to engage with you on that in that forum. Until then, I'm wishing you very big encouragement and huge love for your absolute best self and for your best life. Bye for now.